All right, intro. This is long overdue. One, recording this video because I asked y'all to ask me questions like 2 months ago and I just never did anything with it. And then two, being in front of the camera. I've never had the desire to be on camera. I don't take pictures for real. I'm always behind the camera doing what I do. But I unfortunately have to play the marketing game just a little bit so that people can put a face and a name, or face to the name of the work that they're looking at. So for those of y'all that don't know me, my name is SHAMAR. I'm a designer, director, cinematographer, videographer, whatever hat I'm wearing that day. I do a lot of different things. But really I just make whatever interests me. And then for those of y'all that do know me, but probably haven't heard me speak since high school, college, graduation, or even middle school, shout out to 757, my people that I still talk to. What's up? A couple months ago, I asked y'all to ask me questions. Now we're finally going to get through and go through those. So here we go. All right, first question. What's your comfort movie or TV show? TV show, offer it, Parks and Rec. I can quote that show like the back of my hand. That is literally the only show that I will willingly rewatch. Like, I've tried to watch new shows. I'll get like a couple, not even a couple seasons, a couple episodes in, go right back to Parks and Rec. But then movies, recently it's Sinners. If I don't watch it every other day, or sometimes every day, it's at least twice a week. And then it's between that, The Incredibles, and Friday After Next. Whenever I'm working on anything, I know how long Friday After Next is. So like, if I turn it on and it ends, I know it's been an hour, 27 minutes, and just restart it. That's how I like space out my time. So I'm not like, I'm so locked in on what I'm working on that I know I know how long I've been working on something when that movie goes off. And then The Incredibles, I've loved that movie since I was a kid. So even when I'm not working, whenever I want to like sit down and, have my comfort movie, that's, like a kid's animated movie, I'm throwing on The Incredibles. Next one, how do you tackle creative block? That's a good question. For me, I'm very spiritual. So anything that grounds me is what I end up having to do. And I think whatever that is for you is what you need to find as well. So for me, that's going to sleep, meditating, listening to my meditative playlist, or taking a walk, and listening to music. So going to sleep, a lot of times I'm up late working on something, and at some point in the night you're, trying to force an idea to happen that's just not going to work. So leaving it alone, end of the night, waking up the next morning, I usually have the solution to whatever the problem was, or I'm okay with what I already had and don't end up adding anything to it. So I think, having just a fresh eye on whatever you're working on is super important, and not trying to force things that's not going to happen. And then going outside, also being one within nature, I think is super important, because when you're in like your most relaxed and in flow state is when you receive answers. So I think just being in communion with, sitting by water, or being, sitting on a park bench, being in the trees, going to a forest, whatever calms you, so you're not overwhelming yourself by like trying to force an outcome that's not happening. That's what, that's how I think you should approach it. What else did I say? Listening to music, meditating, really same thing. Anything that calms your nerves, gets you out of your own head, out of your own mind, headspace, so that you're allowing yourself to receive the solution or answer that you're looking for is what you need to do. But that's just me being all woo-woo spiritual. Is it true that your favorite color is black? Yes. Yeah, very much so. Where and who do you get your inspiration and ideas from? Where they're usually things that I've always been thinking about. It's like most of my work is some form of commentary. So there's like I have a list of like things in my notes that I'm. Excuse me. Things I think about throughout the day, just in conversation and being out, around people, and just listening to, and seeing things around me. I'm always thinking about, how can I make someone see this, certain social or political issue in a unique way or differently. And so I kind of, keep a tab on that and figure out ways that I could portray that visually. And then whenever that does click, I'm usually very quick to grab the camera, get on Photoshop, find some way to visually express that. So it's usually I already have a seed planted for an idea that I want, and then I wait for something, a visual cue that I see out or somewhere, and make the connection, and it clicks, and then I end up making whatever their product is. And then who do I get it from? I look at a lot of people. My base in video was I wanted to shoot music videos. So Lone Wolf was the first person that I ever wanted to copy with the camera. He's the reason I even picked up a camera. Then that transitioned to Cole Bennett, Lyrical Lemonade. But then actual directors like Ryan Coogler, Gabriel Moses, then artists Adam Pendleton, David Hammonds, Carol Walker. Really anything that intrigues me visually, I'm gonna try and pull inspiration from. So that's what I end up doing. Oh, and then I forgot Donald Glover. It's always top of my list. Him, Virgil, everybody I just named. Anybody that I feel like is multifaceted that I can look up to is what I usually end up doing. How do you know when a piece is actually finished? I always feel like overwork mine. There's a feeling that I have that I get, whether it's a graphic or a video, that it's almost like a sense of completion. For, a poster or something. That one last texture layer or the one last color lookup or adding a vignette to the edge of it. Once I finish all that and then I look at it, I'm like, now it's done. I have an internal feeling about it. Same with the video. Once I color grade it, finish the sound design, watch it one time through, and I don't feel any I need to add something to it, then I know it's done. I don't know if that's a universal experience for everybody, but I know for me, that's how I know. And then I leave it alone, come back the next morning, watch it again, I'll send it to somebody, see what their reaction is, and if it's not what I wanted to hear, but if they interpret it the way that I expected them to, then I know it's done. So I don't know if that's a good answer to your question, but that's how I know when I'm finished with something. Favorite pieces you have created? For videos, I would say The Cost, the one I did a couple weeks ago. That was one of the first videos where I thought of the idea that day, or I thought of how I wanted to shoot that video that day. Went out and shot it that night. Came up with the concept of the checkout beep and the flat line while I was just listening to, trying to find different sound effects that I could add to it. It took me 30 minutes to edit. Rendered it, watched it, loved it. That was one of the first videos I was that's a good video. Put it on TikTok, I think that next day. It was the first one that got a couple thousand views on my page. Usually hover at 500 or 600, but that one blew up. Same with on YouTube. I think it's my second most viewed video. I think that one was my first project that I felt was complete. I didn't have any reservations about it. I didn't want to go back and edit anything. It was well received. So I'll definitely say that was one of my favorite ones. And then graphic wise, the often imitated, never duplicated print for my Black Print series, Bones, Garrett Morgan. Those are the two prints that I have hanging on my wall right now. Really, that whole series in totality, I think, has to be up there for one of my favorites. It was, and I knew idea I had for Black History Month. I knew I wanted to do something, culturally specific and significant, and I think that was pretty well received. Do I have any other ones? Oh, when when I was interning at Embry Riddle, all of the photo manipulation stuff that I did, like Florida Man, one of the softball night graphics, all that stuff. I try to challenge myself as a designer to figure out that aspect of designing or sports design. So all of those are probably I've done a lot of stuff, but those would probably be the few that are at the top of my list. Top 3 songs at the moment. When you asked me that a few months ago, the answer would have been Mosquito by Pink Panthers in all 3 slots. But right now, it would have to be Helicopter by A$AP Rocky. I love that music video. So anytime I hear it, or see the video on my YouTube, I go back and listen to the song and just envision the video playing within the song itself. This Life by Destin Laurel. I just discovered him. I love that song, and then how he shoots his music videos. I think is very creative and cinematic. And then in the 3rd spot would probably be Casino by Baby Keem, and then the new album with Mike Earl and Surf Gang. That's heavy in my rotation right now. If you could only use 3 fonts for the rest of your career, what are they? It's weird because I don't think I know a lot of designers are obsessive about fonts and typeface, but that's really not something I think about until that's probably the last part of my design, honestly, if I do make something. So I literally will go on Defont and scroll and look at the sample text and find something that I think might fit. So really, anything that I do now, the font's usually, the weight is heavy, it's bold. I like text that fill up space, so something that's vertical, that fits vertically well. I think the only one I think off the top of my head right now is Anton. I think that's the name of it. There's another 90s bootleg one that I was spamming a while ago that I'll put on the screen. And then I can be basic and say Helvetica. It just works with everything. Best place to get a late night meal when you're finishing a project. Cookout is the only correct answer. If you eat Taco Bell, I have to question you. McDonald's, no. Bojangles doesn't open that late, but if you can catch them, yes. Yeah, Cookout's the only thing that's open at 1 or 2 in the morning, and that meal is, they never mess that up. Best $8 you can spend. So I'd definitely say that's the best place you can go for a late night meal after you finish working on something. If you have it. If you don't, I'm sorry. Are we ever getting a merch drop? I need that aesthetic on a hoodie. One day, I fake design stuff to see how people receive it or how people react to it. But it's definitely on my list of things to do. That's one of the ways I want to, put my designs out there. But I'm also super obsessive about quality. I'm not gonna do print on demand shirts. I need to go to a supplier, feel the shirt, see it myself, see how it fits, find a good screen printer, all that stuff. I'm very particular about clothes and stuff like that. Like I don't want, cheap products out there. So whenever I figure that out, yes, there will be a merch drop for stuff that I've designed already. Last one. Can we get a day in the life vid, please, with 3 Z's? I used to say I would never be sitting in front of the camera like I am right now, doing a Q&A, but here we are. So I'm not going to completely shoot down your idea, but don't count on it, because that's just still very strange to me, but we're doing it. So anything's possible. But yeah, that's all the questions that I had, or that I was going to answer. All that YouTube nonsense, like, comment, subscribe if you want to. Probably do another one of these. Who knows? I'm not going to give you a schedule and keep me accountable for that. Yeah, appreciate you watching. Out of here.